All right, guys, I'm just going to give a few minutes to let everybody else join because I know it is. I want to make sure everybody has a chance to get in. If you guys got any questions, go ahead and fire them up in the chat. Makes this easier. I know some people like to sit back, be quiet. They like to sit back and not ask questions. That's fine. But somebody got to ask some questions. So, you guys we're doing this consulting thing. So go ahead and fire it in there. Let's see. I've narrowed down my 3 quarterbacks, I think, for the main slate. I'm playing Stafford, I'm playing Russ, and I'm playing Cousins. I know I'm going to be completely on an island with Russ. With Stafford and Cousins, not so much. Russ, I'm probably just going to lock in Baldwin with him. Cousins, I'm probably going to play a ton of Pryor, some Vernon Davis. And again, guys, I want to make this I want to remind people how important this is. If you're playing Vernon Davis, you need to leave at least $100 on the table there, because if something happens that Jordan Reed does play, you want to make sure you can get to Jared Cook. That is really important. I am upgrading Zach Ertz because with Janoris Jenkins in, who was ruled in actually during my show, that means that those Giants boundary corners are really good. I'm taking out Alshon, I'm taking out Torrey Smith, and I'm definitely going to be playing a lot more Ertz because it just makes the most sense. That's where everything is going to go. And as I'm doing this, by the way, I'm like playing with my player pool right now. So let's see. I'm going to go down to – I have too many guys in there. I'm going to have to take some people out. Let's see, Philly. Yep, see ya, Alshon, and see ya, Torrey. Ain't in there no more. So, but yeah, that's the big news so far of the morning. I've got everything up just so I see any news. If you guys see any news in the chat, feel free to – let us know, because there's always a shot I'm going to miss something, and we don't want that, obviously. So, yeah, make sure you go ahead and say if you guys see any news. Let's see. Who else am I taking out? Let's see. On FanDuel specifically, I'm going – this is a weird week for me because normally I don't love the chalk, as a lot of you guys know, and I think the chalk at running back this week is just right. Like Le'Veon Bell, J.H.I., Ty Montgomery, I think those are the 3 best tournament options, in cash game options, obviously. I'm quite a bit higher on Joe Mixon now, which I know is really a weird thing to hear. But to me, he's not going to have any ownership. It is a good matchup. And if the Packers decide to take away A.J. Green, all of a sudden, Joe Mixon, Brandon LaFell too, things are going to open up for those guys. So I see a path right here where it's either going to be Mixon, LaFell, or Green who has a big game. I don't it's probably going to be Green, but at the same time, I think that you don't want to hitch your wagon to that, the AJ Green 100%. I think that would really be a bad idea if you did that. Let's see what else. Sorry, I'm just deleting guys from my player pool. One of my favorite things to do is just delete guys from the player pool, because anytime I can get it more and more narrow, that is good. So see ya, Torrey. See ya, Alshon. I'm really struggling right now with what to do with Theo Riddick. I feel like I probably have. I don't know. I like him. I've got 5% though. I don't know if I want more or less. James White, I'm pretty high on. Especially on DK, I'm not going to have as much on FanDuel, but just because, his price on FanDuel is actually making him reasonable to play a little bit more. So I'm going to have some more James White. Joe Mixon, right now, it's looking like he's going to be my 3rd highest on running back. So that's not something I was expecting to wake up to today. Let's see. I've got to start getting rid of some of my player pool right now. I've already shown my love for Odell Beckham. I think he's just crazy undervalued this week, which is, it feels weird that this is basically the hill I'm going to die on, but I just like him a whole heck of a lot. One of the things I'm doing is I'll sort my player pool by price, and that's how I'll start eliminating guys. Okay, in this tier, which players do I like? Which players do I dislike? I just got rid of somebody. T.Y. Hilton on FanDuel specifically, I just don't want to pay that price. I might pay a little bit. See, my player pool is way too big right now. I'm looking at Deshaun Jackson on FanDuel. I think he might be a little bit too much there. It's 6.4K, especially when I get Mark Davis, who I like more. Let's see, tight ends. How many tight ends do I have? Yeah, that's way too many. I know I mentioned Cameron Brate. He's just not going to make it for me, though. I want to keep my tight end pool really, really narrow. Jimmy, I'm going to have a little bit of, but that's mainly with my Russ Wilson's teams. I'm probably going to fade Gronk, which is always scary, but I feel like that is the best thing to do. I like Kelsey and Ertz that much. Like, I think those guys are just absolutely elite plays this week. If I'm not paying up for either of those guys at tight end, I'm looking at Jack Doyle. I think that one's obvious. I think Vernon Davis is fine. The problem on FanDuel is if you play Vernon Davis, that I think that you're really going to be – on FanDuel, you're putting yourself behind the ball because there's a $500 difference. So you want to make sure if you're doing that and read plays, like, you might be in trouble. At the same time, we know Jordan Reed. Like, this is a guy who can play and then after 10 snaps say, no, my pinky hurt, I got to get off the field, so I'm not going to do that. I would not go nuts with Vernon Davis on FanDuel. He's more of a DK play for me because you have that easy pivot to Jared Cook later on. My favorite quarterback wide receiver stack today, I'm going with 3 of them. Stafford I'm playing, and I'm probably going to double stack a lot with him with Golden Tate. And then I'm going to throw in – I think Kenny Galladay is really sneaky today. I'm going to throw in quite a bit of Galladay. I'm going to throw in a little bit of Marvin, not a ton, but a little bit. I'm probably going to double stack quite a bit with Eric Ebron on my Stafford and Tate teams. Kirk Cousins, I think, is fine, obviously. You can pair him with Pryor. And the nice thing about that is Pryor is so cheap that you can really load up at some of the other positions. And I'm alone here. Like, you guys should know, like, I think as a tournament option, though, Russ Wilson is just amazing against the Tennessee defense that can't pressure anybody. I know Seattle's offensive line has looked bad. They're not this bad. No offensive line is this bad. Like, they suck, but they're still professional football players. So, to me, Russ Wilson and Doug Baldwin. Baldwin's going up against Adoree Jackson in the slot, who's a rookie who can struggle. Like, he's not like this all-pro rookie. He was the 18th overall pick. I think it was 18th or 20th. But at the same time, he's still a rookie. And Doug Baldwin against a rookie, I'm definitely going to favor Baldwin there. I think Russ goes criminally underowned. And this is a blow-up spot for Russ. Like, I know I talked about him last week, and the win kind of got me off him later. But Russ Wilson this week, I think, is just crazy undervalued. And I don't really understand why, because it should be a spot where he does well. 15% Ebron. I want 40% Kelsey. I want 40% Ertz. I love both those guys. Like Kelsey and Ertz, that's going to be a contrarian lineup construction. But this is one of the reasons that I like the builder, by the way, because what I'm going to be able to do is kind of find the different constructions that I can actually build when I'm doing all my builds, because it can be tough a lot of the time if you're just building them by hand. Like, even if you're not going to put in 50, 100 teams, use the builder, because then you could really kind of see the different types of constructions that can come together, which is always nice. I'm not going to play. See, I want him with some of my cousins' teams, like Kenny Britt. I want a hair. Rashard Higgins. I do like Rashard Higgins today. I think he's perfectly fine. Gabriel at 5.1K is too cheap on FanDuel. I'm doing my FanDuel script right now, obviously. Seth Roberts, I think at 5K is way too cheap. Like, I'm going to be filtering in a lot of these cheap guys in and out of a lot of lineups. Like, I'm going to be really tight at the top with my 3 running backs I like, my 2 tight ends, and a lot of Odell. And then toward the bottom, that's where I'm going to kind of pivot a lot. You know, a lot of people say, well, you can't have that loose of a player pool. Well, if I'm tight at a couple positions, like Ertz, Kelsey, then Montgomery, Lev Bell, and J.J., like, then you can kind of loosen up at the bottom of your player pool. But you got to save some money in doing so. So you have to be willing to kind of take some shots, you know, on some higher percentages that guys that you might not like. Somebody in the chat earlier asked Brandon LaFell, 25% too much. I don't think so. I think that is perfectly fine. Let's see. Marvin Jones. See, I don't want a lot of Marvin Jones in non-Stafford teams. Kenny Galladay, I don't hate him at all at that price. Deshaun, I don't really want a ton at that price. I'd be interested to see if the builder can find me. Like Martavis Bryant at this price on FanDuel is just too cheap. By the way, guys, I don't go through a lot of pricing stuff before Saturday night, Sunday mornings. Like, I want to do all of my research first, because I just feel like if you go to pricing first, you're going to end up on a lot of plays that are only price-based, and you don't want price-based plays. You want matchup-based plays. Kellen, I like him. TY. Like, I'm going to have a wider player pool, but just because I'm so tight at the top, and I think that's okay. Terrell Pryor, we do like him against Oakland. These Denver wide receivers, too, I think they're really undervalued today. And, like, 6.9K for Emmanuel Sanders seems really cheap. Keenan Allen, I love him. Golden Tate, he's fine. I like him more on DK than FanDuel. Doug Baldwin. Let's see, am I doing my let's see, I gotta lock Baldwin in just because I'm doing my Rust teams right now. Brandon Cooks. What do I do with this guy? You know what? I'm just not playing him. I'm sick of just getting my butt kicked in with Cooks. AJ Green, I'm not quite as high on him as other people. I'm going to probably be under the field with him, which is not something that I was expecting going into today. But I have trouble believing that the Packers are just going to say, yeah, we know it's a good matchup for you, AJ, so just go ahead and get your 200 yards, and we'll just hope we win later. I just don't see that happening. So, yeah. I need to increase my lower ownerships, though. Like, you're going to kind of see, like, I've got Baldwin locked in here, and so I'm going to need some of these cheap wideouts, though, just because I'm paying up at other spots. So I'm going to have to take some chances with guys like LaFell, like Taiwan Taylor, like Seth Roberts. Taylor Gabriel is another guy that I don't love, but again, on a fast track and a pace-up game, I think it's perfectly fine. Higgins, also fine. Kenny Britt. Look, if Kenny Britt doesn't perform this week, I think we just have to kind of cut him the rest of the year. And I know a lot of people have already done that, but this is a guy, he's still getting a lot of snaps for this team. They just lost Corey Coleman, and the coach basically just called him out. Like, there was a headline, I think it was something silly. It was like, Kenny Britt says he needs to work harder. Like, who actually admits that, by the way? Just like, yeah, sorry, I'm sorry I've been such a lazy bum, but let's go to town. Yeah, it's a little bit weird. So, all right, defenses. I'm playing 6 defenses today, it looks like. My favorite defense is the Patriots. Deshaun Watson, like, I've been railing on this guy for months now, but he's just not ready. The Steelers are obviously fine. The Vikings, I have some interest in on my non-Deshaun teams. Like, I could see that pressure really getting to Jameis this week. Tampa Bay. Yeah, I don't hate – like, anytime your defense is facing Case Keenum, I think you're fine. Carolina against the Saints, I'm going to go underweight there. The Eagles, I'm going to go underweight there. And I do want to add – how much are the Saints defense? I'm going to have a little bit of Saints defense. Tony was trying to talk me into the Jets, and I just can't do it. Like, if the Jets defense goes off, well, then whatever, I lose. Yeah, so it looks like 7 defenses. And the Patriots are easily going to be my highest owned defense. I know they're expensive, but like I just think they're that much better than the other ones. Oh, God, I got to sort through kicker. This was always fun. This makes you, hate life. Kicker is where I'm basically getting exposure to high total games and domes that is not coming organically through my other lineups. So, a guy like Matt Bryant, if I don't happen to have anybody from Atlanta on a particular team, well, then, okay, I'm going to play Matt Bryant. Let's see. Graham Gano, I think, is a solid kicker play today. Giorgio Tavecchio, which is just a fun name to say. Let's see. I'm not going to play him. Got to play some Jake Elliott in this spot just in case Philly can, Philly wouldn't surprise me if they just can get the ball in the red zone and then can't score. Plus, they're at home, which I like. Dustin Hopkins is too cheap. Like, I'm really going wide at kicker, which I don't necessarily think. I think this Young Ho Koo is decently reasonable as a kicker today because he's kicking at home. I don't think the efficiency is going to be there for Melvin Gordon. I could see a lot of drive stalling. So, yeah, I don't hate that. So I'm going to do my first build right now. You can hear my dog. He's very excited. This is my first FanDuel build of the day where I've got Russ locked in and I've got Baldwin locked in. Oh, nope, I clicked the optimal button. We don't want that. Yeah, see, I'm going to have to redo it now. Guys, you guys getting questions, by all means, go ahead and fire them up in the chat. We got some people watching. I think we got 5 or 6 online. So by all means, go ahead and ask the questions. That's what we're here for. I'm here to help you. We're here to help each other. So obviously go ahead and fire those questions up. I'm looking at the builder right now. Let's see. And I can't actually show full lineups. That's one of the rules on this thing. So, but yeah, I mean, if I locked in Russ and Baldwin, I got my 50% Bell, my 42% Ajayi, my 42% Montgomery. Here's a question. Thoughts on Derrick Henry and Titans D? I'm not playing the Titans D this week. Maybe it's a blind spot for me. Like, I'm going to be the first to admit that I might just have a blind spot in some places. But at the same time, like, I just respect Russ Wilson too much. And this Titans D, they really struggle to generate pressure on quarterbacks. So, like, and Derrick Henry too, if DeMarco was going to be out, okay, great. I just have trouble actually believing that DeMarco's going to be active and Derrick Henry's still going to see 80% of the carries. I think this is going to be a pure timeshare. And I think a lot of you guys, you know my position on that. If it's going to be a timeshare, I'm just off of it. Strategy for the pick'em content. That's a good question. You want a really, like the pick'em, they're 20 max. So you want a super, super tight core. I cannot stress this enough. There's no way to cover a number of bases with only 20 picks. I'm probably going to have a maximum of 2 guys per tier, and then I'm going to do 20 entries in all of them, and then I'm going to just kind of try and weave those in and out. So you want to find 2 guys per tier that you like. Don't go over that, because then you're just going to be trying to cover too much. You don't want a situation where if you like a guy, you're like, well, now I just don't have enough of him because, you know, or because I like a guy, but I wanted to get some of the other guy. You don't want to do that. I'm surprised it's crazy how much different the pricing is on FanDuel than it is on DK this week. Did it really give me 0? No, where's Mixon? That's one of the guys I wanted to see. Yeah, it was able to give me, like, the FanDuel pricing. If you're looking at this tier of quarterback wide receiver, like I'm looking at Russ and Baldwin right now, you can really get a lot of studs in here. I was able to get 50% Bell, Ajayi, or 50% Bell, 40% Ajayi and Tymont, 38% Ertz, 38% the Pats defense, a lot of Kelsey, a lot of Odell, 22% Mixon, 20% Allen. Yeah, this is always a good feeling when you look at your roster construction afterwards and you go, man, I really like this roster construction. The guys that gave me 0% of were Deshaun, Golden, Marvin, Jameson. So I'm actually going to redo this because I want at least a little bit of Deshaun. Even though I don't like his price nearly as much on FanDuel, I still want some exposure because, you know, he's got blow up potential. Go to 9. All right, I'm going to build my 50 Russ teams. I feel good about this week. I really do. I think this is, as far as lineup builds go, I think I think the running back chalk is the right chalk. I think the wide receiver chalk, though, that's where you can get cute. Like the fact that Odell's just going to be unowned is crazy to me. Like this is a defense we've been attacking with guys exactly like this for over a year now, and now they're going to be with, and now it's going to be under-owned, and Odell's one of the best guys. By the way, this matchup last year in Week 16, Odell had 20 targets. Do I have a lot of Kaiser and Brissett to get Bell and Odell in? I have not built my DK team yet. That's actually going to be next on the list. But no, I'm definitely not going to have any Brissett. I think Kaiser is reasonable on DK. Like these are my FanDuel prices right here. Like I'm not, and I'm actually kind of thrilled with that for FanDuel. And I imagine that a lot of my build is going to look exactly the same. So now let's go ahead. Let's go to DK. Let's see these prices. It pains me. I'm probably I might play Rodgers still over here. I'm going to try not to play Kaiser. Any left for Geronimo on DK? I actually think Geronimo is going to be on the outside a lot in this game. I think they're going to move Jordy to the slot to avoid Dre Kirkpatrick and to avoid Pac-Man Jones. So to me, that means Geronimo is going to end up on the outside. Yeah, I know he's $3K. Yeah, I know he can pay off that salary in one play. I'm just willing to gamble that it's not going to happen. I like some other guys more in that cheap range, like 3,500 range that I've already talked about. Let's see. I'm probably not going to play Kaiser on DK. I want to see what these builds look like first. Like normally my quarterback selection is way more narrowed down than this late, but there are just so many guys that I think are in play. Like specifically, like there are a number of running backs. Like I'm not playing Gillislee on DK. He's more of a FanDuel play for me. But like there are a number of pass catching running backs that I think are really great on DK, like Duke Johnson, 4,200, Theo Riddick, 5,100. I think he's fine. Coleman at 5,300 is a great tournament option. James White, I think James White's cash playable today at 5.4K. Like I know I said the chalk was really good, but I think this mid 5K range is really solid on DK today. So I'm going to go ahead and see what this build can bring me. And again, guys, I'm actually not allowed to show like the exact build. That's just site rules. So I'm going to try and go 50% Bell, try and go 40% Ajayi, try and go, Ty Montgomery. I just want more. I want 50% Montgomery. I'm going to have a little bit of Shady just because there's upside. I'm going to have some Freeman, some McCaffrey. I'm going to be even with the field with McCaffrey. Right now, the projected ownership is 15%. I think that's about right. I'm cutting Marshawn Lynch. I'm cutting Dalvin Cook. I got to narrow this player pool down. James White, I'm going to go 20% him. Coleman 10. Riddick 7. I don't know. Joe Mixon. I'm really finding that I'm going to have a lot of Joe Mixon today. Like I've really fallen in love with him. Like the matchup is good. He's going to be getting the carries, and if he ends up being the guy today, like I could see him absolutely going for 100 and a score at 5% ownership. You know, he's just 4,500 on DK. Duke Johnson also, I think he's a perfectly solid play. Like these Browns guys, like they're going to be airing the ball out today. Like the Colts, they're solid against the run. At least they have been so far. And they're really getting burnt in the pass. Like Duke Johnson, he's not a running back to me. He's a wide receiver, but he just helps me fill a running back spot. So let's go over to wide receiver now. Now this is a position where I just have too many guys. I'm going to try and see if it can get me some Julio Jones. I don't know if it will be able to. AJ Green on DK, I can actually like. I don't think you need him. 8.1K. I think that's a reasonable price. Like he's going to be popular because people are going to play him on FanDuel. What happens? People play a guy on FanDuel. Oh, now I want to play him on DraftKings. Okay, way to go. Like I think Jordy Nelson. I actually prefer Jordy to AJ today, honestly. And I know that's probably a hot take, but like if he's in the slot, it's a really good matchup. I'm just not going to play Brandon Cooks. Keenan Allen is too cheap. I like him quite a bit. Amari Cooper, I think he's fine. Golden Tate, 6.9K for Golden Tate on DK. Boy, they're really charging you a premium there, aren't they? Yeah, we'll see what the lineup builder can give me with that. But that price is awfully tough. Like Jarvis Landry, I like him. I think he could have a big game, but 6.8K. I'd rather play Baldwin at 6.4K. Like I just don't see a reason to play Van. Favorite position for flex. I have mostly 2 tight end teams. No, I never play 2 tight end teams. If I'm playing a 2 tight end team today, it's going to be Kelsey and Ertz. Like that's it. I'm not playing 2 tight ends besides those guys. Like they just lack the upside. This is one of the reasons I kind of preach that I think paying up for tight end and when nobody else does it is really interesting because I think that like everybody, I want to save money at tight end. Well, good luck winning that million maker with an 11. I know somebody did it with a 0 one time from tight end. That's a once in a lifetime thing. That ain't going to happen again. So yeah, good luck with that. Like Ertz and Kelsey, I think they're so far above the field. That's why I'm really going to load up on them. I think Jack Doyle's fine. Like I think he could see 15, 16, 17 points. If he gets that, obviously you're in really good shape. But like if not, well, then you're really going to be struggling to keep up with the Kelseys and to keep with the Ertz. Ertz is really freaking easy for me this week. Like him and Kelsey, I think, are by a mile the 2 best tight ends this week. Deshaun Jackson, this DK price just makes no sense. Speaking of making no sense, Jermaine Kearse. I'm not going to pay that for Jermaine Kearse. Kenny Galladay, he's too expensive on DK, but he also has like huge blow up potential. The same for Tyrell. Like I don't understand why nobody's talking about Tyrell Williams. He lines up in the slot or on the side away from Marcus Peters, I think like 2/3 of the time. And nobody's talking about him, even though he's going to be going against the weakness of the Chiefs defense. Like it's really bizarre to me that nobody's talking about Tyrell Williams. Jamison Crowder, T.Y. Hilton. I'm just going to play T.Y. Hilton. Like I think he's a solid option. I think we can by the way, these Broncos wide receivers on DK specifically, they are way too cheap. Demaryius and Emmanuel Sanders both. Terrell Pryor also. Like people have talked about this pricing being tight on DK, and yeah, it is right up until you get to this like mid 5K range, and it's really strong over here. Let's see, go to tight ends. Like I think it's a balanced week. Like if you can get balanced plus with a Le'Veon Bell, then save some money with a guy like Higgins, save some money with a guy like Tywan Taylor. I don't hate at all this week. I think he's going to be wildly overlooked. Oh, you know what? I got to adjust that Russ script. I forgot to put Baldwin there. Guys, go ahead and get those questions in. I'm going to be hanging out. You know what? I'll hang out longer. I said I was only going to do half an hour, but hell, why not? We'll hang out a little bit longer. It's always a good time. Okay, delete him. Delete. I mean, I like Hooper and Bennett, but I just don't think I can. I just don't think I can do it. Let's see. Travis Kelce. 40, 10. Jack Doyle, 10. Eric Ebron. I think Ebron's also a strong play. I'm not going to play Jared Cook. I think I wrote in my article, he's either going to be the last guy in or the last guy out for me, and it looks like he's going to be the last guy out. Like, I'm just not going to – whatever. If I lose because I don't have Jared Cook, then so be it. I can live with that. Again, my favorite defense is the Patriots. I know they're expensive, but Deshaun Watson's just not good. Guys, back to the guy's question. Like, if you can find a way to play a tight end, to not play a tight end in the flex, I would recommend it. It's just not something that works out very often. Like, it's very rare that you see, like, on a short slate, you can get by with it. On a 2-game slate where you really need to spend up to win those positions, to win wide receiver, to win running back, you can get away with it. But on a full slate, it's just really tough to make that the winning roster construction. All right, I'm going to disable my group. Highly recommend learning the groups. I'm going to do a tutorial on the groups feature on the lineup builder next week, because in football, it's one of the most important things if you're scripting. Let's see, 50 teams. Boom, boom. Let's see what the Russ and Baldwin combo stack will spit out with the builder, because I get the feeling like it's not as tight as people think it is. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I was still able to get 44% Montgomery. Oh, I forgot to lock in what's the guy's name? Baldwin. I guess that'll do it. Yeah, if I'm playing Russ, if you're playing Russ today, you want to lock in Baldwin. And I understand I'm probably the only one. If you're doing Stafford, I think double stacking is the way to go. If you're doing Cousins, I think playing a ton of Terrell Pryor, mixing in some Vernon Davis there also. And by the way, guys, if you want to get really frisky, I don't hate the idea of playing Jordan Reed here. Like, I know he's unlikely to play, and if he doesn't play, you can always pivot down to Vernon Davis. Yeah, you're going to save some money in salary, but it's very rare that the optimal lineup has 50K on the dot anyway. So, like, if you really want to feel frisky, play some Jordan Reed. Yeah, so Russ and Baldwin, like, this construction, it's pretty fine. I'm trying to see if there's a guy who I really hate, like, that's high up there, a guy that I'm missing on that I wish I had more of, and I'm just not seeing it. It's got Julio down there for me. It's just like 6%, which I wish I had more than that. I wish I had more Jordy. Wish I had McCoy, but you can't have everybody. It's impossible to pay up. And if I'm going with a more balanced approach, those guys just aren't going to be available to me. But yeah, I was able to get a lot of Lev, a lot of Ty Montgomery, and a lot of Ajayi. So I think this is absolutely a construction that works. Like, I like this roster construction. I'm going to try and bump up Julio a little bit, and I'm also going to try and bump up Odell a little bit, because these are guys who I do really like, and I'd like to have some exposure to them. But if you can't do it, you can't do it. It's that damn salary cap. So how's everybody's Sunday going? Are we all enjoying ourselves? Are we all having a good time? Yeah, I've got 34% Odell right now, and I feel pretty darn good about that. How much Julio could it get me? Not much. Yeah, it's just really hard to make Julio work this week. A lot of Russ, Baldwin. And I don't feel the need to run it back with some Titans guys. Like, I'm going to have some Tyrod Taylor. I think he's going to get extra snaps today. I've heard some people talk about Eric Decker, and I just think he's done. Like, I just think Decker's freaking done, man. So I'm not going to go there. Yeah, I got 10% Galladay. Yeah, a lot of my constructions are going to look a lot like this. Like, this isn't a week like last week where I feel like, okay, there are some games and some teams that I feel like I have to get exposure to no matter what. I don't feel like that's the case this week. Yeah, it's not able to get me any LeSean McCoy, and that's fine. Yeah, I'm actually really pleased with how this roster construction went. Like, if you guys are loading in a lot of what I think is going to happen, like the Baldwin Russ works really well. Let's see what happens now on FanDuel. Oh, no, I got to redo that script because I need some Jimmy in my life. I don't love Jimmy, but, again, he's still Jimmy Graham, and I want some of them if I'm playing Russ. Like, I need to have, some combo stacks of Russ and Baldwin. And again, guys, Russ is like tournament only. Like, Stafford and Cousins, those are the two best plays today. Russ is the YOLO play. And I like the YOLO play. Group enable. No, let's not do that. Let's build those FanDuel teams. I'm also going to get a little bit more Russ, or a little bit more Jimmy on this team. Once again, guys, I mean, if you guys want to ask questions, by all means, go ahead and ask away, because that's what we're here for. Cool. All right. I actually really dig this construction this week. I wasn't playing I'm not playing quite as much this week as I usually do, but yeah, I like this. I like this construction. Holy cow, my Skype's blowing up. Oh, Brett Grimes is out. Wow, that matters. Let's see, Brett Grimes. If he's going to be out all of a sudden, like, it's still Case Keenum, though. Like, can we play Stephon Diggs with Brett Grimes out? I guess. I don't think he's going to make the list for me, but I don't hate the idea. Sorry, I got some people telling me what's going on. All right. By the way, apparently Jacksonville faked a punt up 37-0. I love it. Any exposure to Sanu? No, I'm not playing my boy today. I don't want him. I'm going to go with Gabriel more. I have to cut somebody, and it just happened to be Sanu. Sanders or DT for cash? I don't think I'm playing either of those guys for cash, just because I don't know where it's going to go. I think one of them's going to do well. Both of them might do well. But, it's like the Raiders. Like, good luck guessing which one it's going to be. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I can tell you, no, it's definitely a Sanders week. No, it's definitely a Thomas week. I don't think we can do that. I don't think that's responsible to do. So, yeah, I'm not going to tell you which one, but I think I wouldn't play either in cash. I would probably move to Pryor in that range. All right, so that's done. Let's see my lineups. Do I have any? How much of – come on, I need some of them. Where's my boy? Where is Mr. Baldwin? Yeah, like right now I'm looking at my script. I have even amounts of Demaryius and Emmanuel Sanders and never on the same team. So, yeah, that should tell you. I think that tells you everything you need to know. Like, it's like you're just kind of flipping coins with those guys, but it would not shock me. Like, they both have good matchups. So, yeah, like if that's what you want. If you want, like, they both have good matchups, but it's just hard to know which one it's going to be. I just got a text that says, is Jimmy Graham playing? I believe so. Let me look it up. I don't see why he wouldn't. I mean, I know he's a little bit banged up, but I haven't heard. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Nothing. Yeah, no. Yeah, Jimmy Graham's playing. Sorry. People, like, I get the text in the middle of the day, just like people flipping out about shit. Okay, we got that. So now I built my Russ teams. And let's go ahead and build. Oh, I forgot I got to do it for the afternoon or the early only slate. By the way, here's a little tip. These early only slates are nice. Like these, like I don't know if they're really overlaying right now, but I love these short slates because it really allows you to get that super narrow player pool, which I love. And yeah, I would definitely look more into those. Let's see. All right, so I've got my Rust script. I'm going to move on to my Cousins script. Okay, I'm going to go rules. I'm going to get off of those rules where I can only have max 2. Add a new one with Hopkins for 0. So when I'm looking at my Cousins script, I'm looking at either a lot of Pryor, a little bit of Crowder, and a little bit of Davis. So I'm still going to have some Baldwin. I still like him, like even without Russ. He's just got a good matchup, and he's going to see the targets, and that's people just start paying attention to him because I get it. It's the same thing with Odell. You know, people look at what everybody watched that national TV game last week. And they, holy cow, they suck. Well, it's not like they're going to score 0 points. You know, and they both, you know, Odell and Baldwin, they both have really good matchups, and they're both going to be completely underowned, and they're both the focal point of their offenses. Like that's valuable in DFS. Terrell Pryor, I'm going to go him 90% with this. Crowder, I'm going to go Crowder 11. I'm going to go Vernon Davis 10. All right, so let's build these teams. Same thing over here. I'm also gonna see what the script looks like when I'm doing Rodgers. Oh, let's see. Yeah, like this price range is really. Oh, I want to take out that Jimmy though. I don't want nearly that much Jimmy. This, like, if you stick to quarterbacks at this price range with like this, Cousins and prior price range on FanDuel and on DK, you're really gonna like the rest of your team. I don't think people are talking about, oh, pricing is tight this week. I just don't see it. I don't think it's as tight as people think it is. FanDuel, where's it? Oh, I was going to lessen Jimmy. For those of you who care about baseball, Dylan Bundy was scratched. Just kidding. Nobody here gives a crap about baseball. Do any of you care about baseball right now? I know I don't. So, yeah, if you guys care about baseball, well, you are – it's so weird doing those shows and just being like, all right, must care about baseball, must research baseball today so I can, do a decent show. No, I really like what's happening right now with my lineup builds. Like, they look really good when you're getting that Cousins prior range, when you're getting that, those range of those guys. Like, they just look really good. I mean, I do want some more zero baseball. Yeah, no, I hear you, man. Like, it's just if you are still playing baseball at this point of the season, you are one hell of a dedicated person. I'll tell you that. Yeah, I'm finding about 30% Odell in a lot of my teams, and I'm finding quite a bit of Joe Mixon as well. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, I'm gonna live or die with Odell today, and I'm the only one. So that. I think people are going to look back after this week and say, wait a second, we've been playing this matchup for the last year, and we've been playing it successfully. This isn't like a random matchup where people are just like, oh, we tried to play this matchup, but it sucked. No. People have been playing this. I'm not playing Eli. I can't go that far. I trust Stafford, I trust Cousins, and I trust Russ Wilson a lot more. I can't go like – I feel good on my Eli branch, but once we go out, or I feel good on my Odell branch, but once I go to the Eli branch, then it just starts to break a little bit. I don't think I can do that. If you want to go super contrarian, though, I get it, but I don't think there's a need to do that. I think Cousins and Stafford are perfectly safe. And again, like if you want to YOLO like I am, some Russ Wilson as well. Oh, all right, let me do my Cousins teams. I really do like the way these constructions are coming together. I know I keep saying that, but I really feel strongly that this is a very good construction. I just completely forgot that I forgot to write zero tight end in the flex, so I've got to go back and do my Russ script. This is what happens to me, guys. I get excited. Oh, I love this. Yada, yada, yada. Oh, crap, I screwed it up. All right, so let me go Russ. I still got the Jimmy there, so all right, yep. I'm probably going to have about 50-50 between running back and wide receiver. I hate the way they set this up. I'm going to talk to them about resetting this up because instead of them putting like what percentage do you want of Cayenne, shut up. Yeah, I know. It's so awful. Like I wish they would just put like what position do you want and let the builder figure that out. So yeah, I'm going to talk to the development team about doing that. So rules. Oh, I got a group enabled. Nope. But the other group enabled. All right, that's good. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and build that. I assume I'm still going to like it with no double tight end. That would be really. I'd be so disappointed if I didn't. Oh, I know what I need to do. I need to go 1 to 2. Let's see. That's going to be better. Build lineups. Yeah, so even though I don't have double tight ends ever, like it still looks, I still love the way it looks. I'm very happy with that. You guys hear my dog? I'm sorry, that's not my dog. That's my brother-in-law's dog. Yay. Oh, life's so hard. Oh, life's so hard. Unbelievable. This dog will never shut up. All she's doing is jumping right now. Like this is her. I'm not playing with her right now. So it is the end of the world. I'm not sure if you guys knew that, but it is the end of the world. All right. Let's see. Yep. Liking that. Like in that rest bill, I gotta delete that first one before I play both of them, because that would be bad. All right. From the Bengals, we like AJ LaFell and Mixon. Why no Andy Dalton? You can play Andy Dalton. I have no problem with that. I have trouble. You can pair Dalton to you can pair Dalton and AJ. I think that's perfectly fine. Yeah, I have no problem with that. I think you guys know by now I keep a super tight player pool, and he just didn't make it for me. But I think the Dalton to AJ with some LaFell mixed in is fine. I don't know if I like him mixed in because I kind of feel like this dog. I kind of feel like, all right, hold on. I'm kicking this dog out. Outside, come on. Let's go out. Come on. Everybody out the door. And you are going to be fooled in 3, 2, and they're gone. All right. Now I'm going to hear whining from outside the door. Yeah, no, I have no problem if you want to play Dalton with AJ Green or LaFell. I don't think you want to play them both. Like, to me, it's either going to be AJ Green running free, or it's going to be they're going to go out of their way to shut down AJ Green, which means it's going to open things up for LaFell. So I don't think you want to play them together, one or the other. I have no problem with that combination. It just didn't make the cut for me, basically. So I got the Russ teams in there. I still got enough. Jimmy with that. It's so depressing, like watching what's happening with Jimmy Graham right now. All right. Oh, what do you guys think? Anybody else out there like the Dalton? I don't hate the combination. I really don't. All right, let's see. I wonder if there's a way for me. There's no way for me to put a picture in there. Oh, well. I was going to put a picture of my exposures, but I cannot do that, so I'm not going to. Still got 40-something minutes. This is solid. Usually I'm way farther behind this. What about Delanie Walker against Seattle? He just didn't make my list. Tight end is super simple to me this week. Kelsey and Ertz are above and beyond the top plays. If I'm saving money, I'm either going to go Doyle, Ebron, or Vernon Davis. I don't see any need to go to Delanie Walker this week. I just I think it's so simple at tight end this week. And the only reason I'm going to have Jimmy exposure is because, one, I always have Jimmy exposure. I'm a glutton for that guy. And two, he does have upside, assuming he can move, which right now I guess I should really question whether he can move or not, because he's been bad. All right. Come down here. Enable that group. Do I have the lineups done here? Any Matt Ryan? Yeah. I absolutely have Matt Ryan interest. I'm just saving at quarterback in my constructions. But if you want to pay it for Matt Ryan, go with Julio and or Gabriel. I think they're fine together. You can play Julio and Gabriel. I got to sneeze. Sorry. Yeah, no, I think Julio, Matt Ryan is probably going to be the highest scoring quarterback. I just don't know if he's going to be so much higher scoring that you need him, but he's the best guy out there. Also, I do like Devontae Freeman. I've really gone back and forth a lot with Freeman. I'm sure you guys could tell in the way I was writing up the articles, but yeah, I like Freeman. Coleman for tournaments, I think, is fine. I don't love him, but I think he's fine. Where did Pryor go? So 90% Pryor. 15 rules. 1 to 2 of these guys. I've got Cousins locked. Build my lineups. Oh, I forgot to leave $100. Again, if you were playing a Vernon Davis team, you want to leave $100 on every single lineup, because if you don't, then you can't pivot if Jordan Reed is in, which means you're stuck with a benched Vernon Davis. So $100. Yeah, I'm just going to delete that build. Player pool, leave $100 on the table. And again, guys, don't freak out if you're leaving $100 on the table. It doesn't matter. I think there was a study done, and I love this for short slates. There was a study done for golf, and this moves to every sport, where something like 70% of all lineups use either zero or left either $0 or $100 on the table. So if you want to play these short slates, and you're like, yeah, but I've got to get a unique build, just leave $200 plus on the table on every lineup. I have no problem with that at all. All right, is there anybody I'm missing here that I like a lot? Let's see. Anybody? No, I'm fine with this. I really am. I wish I had more Baldwin. It's more shady in the script, but yeah, it's not giving me near. I'm gonna like manually pump up my my Jordy exposure. Like I like Jordy quite a bit today, and it's not giving me enough Jordy. And I like Baldwin also, so I'm going to kick that up. Let's see how much Jordy it can give me. Because, again, it's you can't spin for everybody. And if I'm on Team Odell, it's tough for me to play Odell and Jordy with construction that I'm building. Like right now it's giving me 32% Odell, and it's only able to give me, 5% or 10% Jordy. So it's really tough. But, again, I just think this is the optimal build to, like, save some money. Only I locked in the wrong quarterback, which is definitely a mess up. It's going to give me the same build because they're priced the same. Like all my DraftKings teams, I'm going to use 3 quarterbacks, and everybody else is just going to look this. And all the other teams are going to look the same because it's a very narrow build. And that mosquito is dead. So if you were watching PETA, I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I mean, sure. Yep. I am finding myself with a lot of Brandon LaFell today. Like that's going to be my leverage play of the day. If and some Joe Mixon. Like I've got an uncomfortable amount of Joe Mixon actually, but Tony's talked me onto it, and he's been listening to it. Like when Tony's up there, just listening to Cincy Sports every single day. Like I do give that, and everybody up there is expecting Mixon to get a massive workload increase with this new offensive coordinator. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, now we'll go to Stafford. Rules. So one of those guys. I love football season so much. It's so great. It's the sport. It's the sport we just get to crush every year. Every year. Basketball comes and goes. Baseball is a bleeping crapshoot all the time, but football is where that money's made, guys. Thank God. I've missed football season so much. Okay, so I'm locking in Stafford. Lower that prior exposure a little bit. I need more Golden Tate. I'm a little bit worried that I'm not going to like this build as much. If I don't like this build, I might just find a way to do Rodgers and Jordy instead over here because it's really tough when I'm looking at all these different Lions guys because there's so many mouths to feed. And Golden Tate's the obvious guy for the yards, but for the touchdowns, like I think it's a little bit different. Let's see. 25% Galladay, 10% Marvin. I still don't want a ton of Theo. Like I know Theo's kind of the sexy name this morning, but I don't think I'm going to go there. And Ebron, like Ebron, I actually do like quite a bit. I'm going to lessen my Kelsey and my Ertz exposure with this because Ebron is kind of my favorite double stack candidate with what's his name? With Tate. So if I go 35, then 550. All right. Yeah, I want to go 30% Ebron. Yeah, 30, 30, 30 between these two guys and filter it in with Doyle. All right, let's build and see what's done. This might be the earliest I've been done with my DraftKings script in here. It's actually, like, being on air actually helps a little bit, I think. Yeah, so let's see. Like, this is what I'm concerned about. So State, see, it didn't give me nearly enough Golden Tate. Like, this is something you're going to have to play with if you're doing the Stafford and Tate combo because it gets a little – yeah, I'm getting there, buddy. Sorry. My phone just blows up on these mornings. You guys have no idea how – hey, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? I can do the shit that I'm doing right now. That's all I can do. Still a lot of time on it. Still a lot of Odell, Mixon. All right, I can live with that. All right. Hey, my script is done. My script is done somehow at 11:20. Do you know how rare that is for me? It makes me so happy. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm doing 50 Stafford, 50 Cousins, and 50 Russ Wilson teams. I'm on Russ Wilson Island today. I know. That's okay. I've been on worse islands than that, I promise. Okay, minimum 1, maximum 2. By the way, it's really easy to do the afternoon only slate because like Stafford's only a grand more on FanDuel than Kaiser. So I'm the afternoon only on FanDuel. I'm almost surely going to lock in Stafford and just do 150 Stafford teams with those guys mix and match it. I get Ryan. Like maybe I'll throw some Ryan in, but I don't know if I'm going to like that construction. Let's see. So I'm going to 30, 30, 30, 5. Take out Jimmy of this because I don't need him for this build. My wife's home. Shit's getting serious around here, guys. I'm not sure if you can hear it now. Arvin 10. Galladay 25. We got 3 dogs. Like as soon as the wife's door closes, it's happy town over here. Theo 10. All right, let's see what happens when I build these. I got to make sure Prater's out of my player pool too. Like if you're stacking Stafford, like this is obvious, but you want to make sure you do it. Don't play the kicker from that team just because, there are only so many points to go around. And I don't think it's necessary to lock him in with Julio, to lock him in with all these other spots. All right, I'm going to build this. I'm going to up my exposure to Julio with this just because it, in theory it makes sense, but at the same time, it's not nearly as much of a must play as what a lot of people will lead you to believe. I don't know if he's here. I'm hearing a male voice outside my door. So if you guys see me get shanked, I don't know what's going on. Oh, that's bizarre. A little creepy. Oh. You guys got any more questions? Go ahead and fire them up. Yeah, see, like you do the Stafford and Tate over on FanDuel, you're still able to get a ton of Bell, a ton of Ajayi, and a ton of Ty Montgomery. Patriots, Odell. Well, let me let them out. Let me say, I'll be right back. Hey. Oh, hey, Ron. All right. I'm doing my video. So. That's my brother-in-law. Good thing. No, so no getting shanked or anything. This is a really solid construction on FanDuel too. So yeah, it looks like how much Galladay did we get? 60. Yeah, I can live with that. All right. Well, my scripts for the main slates are done. Afternoon only slate on DK. Which defense should I roll with? Titans, Green Bay, Chiefs. Oh man, you're asking me afternoon only questions so far. Let's see, what games are on that. Yeah, let me pull it up real quick. I haven't even come close to building an afternoon only slate yet. Molly's always asking me these afternoon. He loves his afternoon only slate, which I do too. They're pretty great. They're money makers. You just you lock in a few guys that you love, then build around them, and you just print. Like those 2 guys go off, and you're just sitting in such good shape. So if I go enter here, all right, enter. Let's see what happens. Draft team for the defenses. Okay, so afternoon only slate. Have to get a jump on it. No, I hear you, buddy. I hear you. So defenses, defenses get really ugly over here. Get really ugly. Boy, oh boy. Like literally none of these teams are on my list. I would probably roll with the Packers first. And you can play the Packers with some of these Bengals guys too. This is something I've talked about before. Like the point prevention isn't that important when it comes to defense. The difference between 14 and 34 points is exactly 2. So you do not have to worry about point prevention. You're looking for turnovers. What quarterback is most likely to turn it over? Alex Smith doesn't really turn it over. Aaron Rodgers, I'm definitely not going to bank on him turning it over. Now the sacks can come with Russ, so you can play Tennessee, but I'm likely to look a little bit. I understand Tennessee. I just like Russ too much. But for a short slate, I think you can play them both together. I think it's perfectly fine. Let's see. Yeah, I would look at either Tennessee, the Chiefs, the Packers, Or you could, Seahawks are close. Like any of those three. Thoughts on Jarvis Landry? Yeah, I like Jarvis Landry today. He's a little bit priced up from his game last week, which is annoying. But like, I think with Devontae Parker being shadowed, this is what we saw last week. He was shadowed, which means that Cutler was airing it out a lot more to the middle of the field, which means more catches for Landry. I still believe in Ajayi a little bit more. Like, I like Ajayi. Wow, all my running backs are just on this early slate, and that the guy is dead. But yeah, like I still like Ajayi more, but I think you can absolutely go to Landry. If you're not playing Ajayi, I think Landry should be on some of your teams. Like it's a solid spot for him. All right. Oh, still no interest there. See, on these short slates, it's really important to really have a super narrow player pool if you want to win them. Good luck. Like, I understand people look at it, I can cover all of the bases. Well, no, you can't. So I'm getting rid of a bunch of guys. Shorts, the early only slate is loaded, by the way. Like, they're like all the good running back plays other than Ty Montra on this slate. $70. That just means my late slate is going to be super, super narrow, which is always fun. Julio, I do want a lot of Julio on this slate, and I want a lot of Odell also. I'm going to play Cooks. Tate, I'm going to have a lot of. I don't really know where I'm supposed to find this salary, but I'll let the builder figure that out. Jarvis Landry on the short slate specifically is a good spot. Kelvin Benjamin's still too cheap. Martavis, I love him. I just like a lot of guys. Like it's just not going to make a lot of sense for me to pay down or like pay up for Julio when I like some other guys in this spot. So I'm going to go a little bit less on Julio. Sean, not quite as high on Deshaun as I was, but I'm still high on him. I guess I'm going to need to save some money somewhere. I really think like if it was going to happen for Kenny Britt, then like, yeah, somebody wants to know if I'm on Pryor heavily this week. Yeah, I'm more heavily than I thought I was going to be. Let's see, Ebron, 35, Ertz, 70. I'm not going to play Brait. I guess I'm going to need to save some money, so I'm going to go 50 and 22. All right, I got to get kickers. Kickers are so fucking annoying. All right, so let's see, Bryant. That is not enough percentage for them. Defense. Wow, like I said, somebody, when you asked me about the afternoon slate, like when I can need the defenses, well, literally all of my defenses play on the early slate, so it's a little bit weird for me. Let's just see what we can build. Let's see if we can build 150 Stafford teams for the early only slate. It's going to give me like 10 teams. I know I'm going to have to make some sacrifices. These are the worst days where you're going to have a lot of guys that you like and you're going to be winning money early, and then you look at the slate later, you're like, wait, where'd all my money go? Okay, we can live with this. Pricing is not nearly as tight as people are talking about this week. Like, I just don't understand why people are talking about it. And all like the rules as far as like you can't play this two guys on the same team, they almost completely go out the window for these short slates. So let me pull up player groups. Let me just make sure. So that does not apply. Brait or Jackson. They play on like the super short slate. Maybe not on this one. Let's see. Jimmy and Baldwin not on the slate. Martavis and Lev. I don't care if those two guys are on the same team. I'm off of all those guys. Let's see. Those are tonight. New England guys, new group. Gillisley and Gostkowski, I do not want on the same team. Says yes, afternoon's tricky, which is why I love attacking this week. No, I hear you. Like anytime, like make sure when you build your teams, you cannot be too scared to play an offensive player against your defense. I know that's really counterintuitive, but it's just yes. Sorry, my phone just blows up every Sunday. It just never stops. Carson Jai. Yeah, no, the short slates I think are some of the most, people say, oh, they're all luck, they're blah blah blah. I think they're one of the most profitable things out there. Like I've had more success in these short slates where you can really just key in on a number of guys, and it really works out well. I have no problem with that. That game's not till tonight. Here we go. 1, 2 of Ebron, Marvin, 8. I wish I didn't like a quarterback that had this many options. Like I really dislike playing that spot, but you know, just what it is. Manny Sanders, Marius Thomas. You guys should see what a sicko I am. By the way, I'm still playing NASCAR today. How's that? I'm gonna get done with this, and games are gonna lock, and then I'm going to do my NASCAR teams. I love NASCAR. All right, I think I'm about done. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't want any Coleman, Freeman together, and I also don't want any Freeman or Bryant together. Next week, guys, I'm going to do a tutorial on how to use the groups feature. I should have been recording this, honestly. Yeah, I'll definitely going to do a tutorial next week, though. I'm going to up my Freeman exposure for the afternoon slate because I would like some more exposure to that game in general. 25 there, 15 there, wide receiver, and I'm going to see if I can find me some Julio. All right, and build the lineups. I am so far ahead of schedule today, guys. It feels great, which is good because I have 900 lineups I'm doing today. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 6. I'm sorry, 1,050 lineups I'm doing today. I love Sundays. Keep those questions coming in the chat, by the way. You guys are paying money for this, and I definitely don't. I want to answer the questions. That's why we're doing this. A lot of double stacks. I don't hate that. That's fine. Hell yeah, NASCAR. Like Stevie's package is just it's like stealing. It really is. It's unbelievable just how solid it is. Okay, edit CSV. Which one are we going to edit? Oh, that's why. I always wondered what that was. All right, there's the main slate. Edit CSV. Download. Boom, boom. Oh, it's funny that you guys are like, hell yeah, NASCAR. I freaking love DFS NASCAR. Oh, really? You're not going to open for me today? Oh. What does that mean? It just got a message that pops up. We've run into an issue with your Excel subscription. I don't know what that means, but that's pretty terrifying on a Sunday morning. But it looks like it's working fine. So you guys would have literally just seen me lose my fucking mind on air, which would have probably been both funny and terrifying. All right, so I'm going to export these lineups. 1, 2, 3. Oh. All right, what else do you guys need? Let's get some questions going in there in the chat. Come on, what are you looking at? We got a bunch of slates going on today. It's a fun football Sunday. I feel relatively good about everything, except for that my computer's being a little slow. I don't feel good about that. In fact, I really feel bad about that. That is it's not fun. And I forgot which one I just did. Why is my computer doing this? Oh, this is brutal. All right, there's 6. This should be 5. Sorry, I'm just like talking out loud. But you guys gotta give me some questions. Give me some material. Is there any? Have you guys seen any news that have come out that maybe I have missed because I've been on air? No, I don't know. All I know is oh, that was 4 that was uploaded, so that should be fine. Yeah, if you guys see any like defensive player, defensive lineman news, like that's the skill position stuff, like the news on that on Sundays and everything. That stuff, like you kind of know it's coming. It's the linemen and stuff that really interests me because that's when you can really find those, you know, those just spots that nobody else is looking at. Like, bye. That, you know, that's where we make money in like DFS football. Like, we're not going to do it by looking where everybody else is looking. Where's the fun in that? You're going to do it by, you know, doing it where nobody else is looking. All right, let's see. So, file, save, continue. I always feel so stupid when I do this stuff, but it is what it is. All right. FanDuel dash. Didn't get home today, by the way, guys, until 3 a.m. Then I was up at about 7:30 doing football work. Didn't get to bed till 4, so I'm on about 4.5 hours of sleep. That's all right. We can nap later. Sundays are for football. Sundays ain't for napping. All right, there we go. We're uploading those. All right. Let's go to DK. Let's edit this DK script. Lineups. So what's your guys' biggest win out there? Somebody tell me in the chat, what's your biggest win? I want to hear. I don't know a lot of you guys. I want to hear the people I'm working with. It's a good time. Edit entries. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. We're going to be here for a while. We got another 23 minutes until everything locks. So just don't mess around. Let's get moving. Download that. It is so annoying that my Excel is like lagging today. This is not the day when Excel needs to lag. I'm not even good with Excel, but I need it to work. Yeah, we'll do it. Now that I know how to actually get these videos to work, we're going to be doing a lot more of these tutorial videos moving forward. My biggest win was 2 years ago, about 15K on the afternoon slate. I'll tell you what, my first big win in DFS, and by big, like this was when I was still playing just like nothing games, you know, like I took a few shots on like the $20 or something every now and then. But my first big win was when I won. I like, it was the week Thomas Rawls showed up because I had a lot of Eddie Lacy that day. And so I fell in love with Lacy, right? And then like Eddie Lacy was ruled out. So all my early teams were screwed. But this is when FanDuel did not have late swap. But on the afternoon slate, I was like, well, I like the matchup for Lacy. No, not Lacy with Seattle. It was Marshawn Lynch. I'm sorry. When Marshawn Lynch was ruled out. So I said, okay, well, now I want to fire up I'm just going to fire up a lot of this guy I've never heard of named Thomas Rawls. And so I did, and he went for 200 yards, and I took like 6 of the top 10 spots in the $27 afternoon on FanDuel. And yeah, it was fun. But I like it. Like your biggest win is 15K on an afternoon slate. You know I love those afternoon slates. You know I love them. You just get that super narrow player pool, and if you're wrong, you're only out a couple $100. Okay, big deal. And if you're right, you're just partying. Ooh, nice. Biggest win, 7th in the NASCAR Chrome. That's a good one. See, we know what's going on with that NASCAR. I love it. I got to export my Stafford teams. Yeah. Yep, that NASCAR is so fun. Like it's weird. You wouldn't think it would be fun, but it really is. Okay, now I'm having trouble loading this NASCAR script, which is a problem. So I got to go to my Finder. It's such a headache some days. And I don't mind if it's a headache, like during baseball season when I'm doing this an hour before lock. But when it's right now, it's really, really not fun. So I'm going to go to downloads, DraftKings, NFL. You guys are just watching me lose my mind right now. I'm like, oh, where's shit? Well, welcome to DFS. It is so much fun. And it is even more fun when you're winning money. I can promise you that. It's NFL. It was created today at 11:30, 11:40. There we go. So I'll open that. Poof, work. I don't know why this is not working. That's not good though. Luckily, I'm doing it early so we can figure this shit out. That would be because, like, if we're doing this, if this was screwing up like this at a different hour, that could get really rough. I need Xander to win the Tour Championship and Kyle Stanley hanging there for a 10K. Oh, come on. Yeah. Come on. Xander Schauffele. Let's get us some Xander Schauffele love. Come on. Team Xander, baby. This is so bizarre. I don't understand why this won't open. That's a problem since, I kind of need the file to open. All right. I'm going to file, close Excel. Hope I don't really have to restart my computer. I feel really bad about that. It's good times. File, Excel. Quit Excel. Don't save. Don't save. I said don't save it. Don't save nothing. All right. Let's try again. All right, so we got the 10K PGA day coming up. I love that. It's like, by the way, the RG guys at PGA are just so good. And like, I don't understand. Let's see, now it pulls up. Hey, that's better than it not pulling up at all. Like, it's just wild to me. Like, and I've done okay at PGA, but just how good cards and Noto are, it's wild. Like, it's bizarre. Like, I don't understand that. It's like they're from the future, right? Where they're just every single day they're just crushing it. So we got the Stafford script. We got the Cousins script. I'm really glad I was early today, guys. This would have been really bad if I would have been late. And we got the Russ Wilson script. All right. We're going to open that. Okay, now we're okay. Now we can go ahead and load this stuff up into... Good. Yep, just that little restart just helps this helps so much. Okay, so from there. Paste, there we go. It's not good when my just running slow today, which is not good. 52, 76, 2 to 26. What else going on? Any other questions today? Yeah, big swings. Oh, dude, NASCAR is like crazy for big swings. Like you think you're crushing, and then you blink, and it's just like, nope, and you lose. And that's I don't like that as much. Okay, Stafford teams. I cannot believe my Excel is freezing today. That is so annoying. Tyrell or Djax? There is a good question. All right. Deshaun Jackson's going to have 10 to 15 times the ownership. I think we all know that. Now, is he that much of a better play? I don't think so. Like, nobody's playing Tyrell today, and everybody's going to look back and say, what the hell happened? So, 107 to 119, 27 to 19. Yeah, so it depends how risk averse you are. like for me, I have plenty of both. I actually have more Tyrell because I think that he's quite a bit sneakier, and I think that again, nobody's going to play Tyrell Williams. It's just not fun to play Tyrell Williams like when you can play Deshaun Jackson, who is super cheap. But at the same time, like here, I'll put it like this. It depends what you want to do. Deshaun Jackson, he's more likely to have a big game. But Tyrell Williams is also going to be way lower owned. And when that's the case, we absolutely have to have interest in that guy who's going to be lower owned. So, yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to go heavier on Tyrell than I am Deshaun Jackson. Actually, no, I am going heavier on Tyrell than I am Deshaun Jackson. And Tyrell's in that sneaky blow-up spot, man. I understand everybody loves Keenan Allen, and I think rightfully so. Like, I'm super heavy on Keenan Allen, too, this week. But at the same time, it's not like – how is that possible? Something just messed up. Oh, that's why. Okay. I had like 5 teams in my script that were unaccounted for, and I couldn't find the teams. That's better. Okay. So let's put those right there. That's 84. Here I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Anyway, so Deshaun's more likely to have a big game, but Tyrell, from a pure ownership standpoint, I like him in this spot. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I have to count how many times to copy these lineups over. Nope, that was too many. That's why I have to count. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. I really hope that Lev, that Ajayi, that Montgomery all just come through for me this week. I think they will. I feel pretty good about those guys. Okay, DK entries, file, save, continue. Now we're going to upload the lineups. Did that answer your question on Tyrell or Deshaun Jackson? I know I was kind of like flaky right there when I was answering, but yeah, it's just like it's a complicated question. Like one is more likely to go off, but the other is probably a better tournament play because yeah, my phone is just blows up every freaking Sunday. This Sunday. All right, so I need to export all of these. Then I can get to my single entry teams, which is going to be nice. This is like I know this looks hectic, by the way, or at least sounds hectic the way I'm talking about it. This is probably the most calm Sunday I've had of the year. Okay, so that's the main. I need the 1 p.m. only. Yeah, I like Terrell and potential shootout. Needed the confirmation bias. Yeah, no, it's just a spot where nobody else is going to go there. And if Deshaun outscores him, that doesn't mean it's the wrong game theory play. Like you're going to get Tyrell at, seriously, it might be like 5% of the ownership of Deshaun. And the spot is nearly identical when you think about it. Now, Deshaun, is he a better player? Yeah. Is he in a better spot? Yeah. But also, is he in a 15 times better spot and 15 times a better player? No, I don't think so. So, yep, I have no problem with that whatsoever. File. Save. Continue. All right. Choose file. FanDuel Dash. All right, let's fire out those other questions. We're at the 10-minute warning now, guys. So if you got other questions, it's now or never. Okay, so contest. Yep. And you're right. That is a potential shootout. Like I love Kelsey from that game. Like I wish I could properly explain just how much I love Travis Kelsey. Like I like Ertz a lot too, but like Kelsey is in just such an elite bleeping spot. All right, Mike. Good luck today, brother. I'll see you later. Like I think you can play Doyle and Cash, but I actually really like this team that I built. Flex, was there anybody down here that's a little cheaper that I like? 54 to 56. Nope. All right. I gotta build a team now, guys. Please, it's almost lineup lock time. 7 minutes left. Gotta hurry. Gotta hurry. Gotta send me those. Send me those questions. That's what you guys pay for. I don't want to like. I want to help out. So go ahead and get those in. We're gonna do some videos next week also. All right. Invite me. I'm not inviting this shit. Classic. Today. NFL. Classic. Sunday. Private. Head to head. All right. Entry fee $0 bill. Nope. No. Invitations. Add friends. Such a headache every Sunday. Done. Next. All right. Le'Veon Bell, Ty Montgomery. Wide receivers. Who did I even have? Oh my god. Tight end, Jack Doyle Wolves. Defense. Going with that Eagles and Cash. Wide receivers. Who the fuck did I use? I know I used Keenan Allen. Anybody? Nope, nothing. All right. Higgins. White. I do like James White a lot today. I really feel like he's just being completely undervalued. So, oh, wait, Pryor. That's right. Terrell Pryor Senior. All right, guys, I'm out for now. I'll be back probably in a little bit to talk some. Yeah, talk some more. See ya. Assuming I can figure out how to turn this off.